The South African government is increasingly viewing Bitcoin, now one of the largest assets on earth, as a threat to our national and economic sovereignty. For many people around the world, Bitcoin may have become a symbol of financial freedom, but owning and exchanging crypto in South Africa will soon not just carry market risk, but also a very real legal risk. Because very soon, moving your own digital assets, such as crypto, could require express permission from the government. Or, if you do not want to follow the government's regulations on your cryptocurrency, expose you to criminal charges. The National Treasury has just announced new regulations that aim to completely overhaul the exchange control regulations that have been in place in this country since the dawn of our republic and the birth of our currency in 1961. These amendments are being proposed specifically to address the gaps that the government has identified with regard to the current South African exchange control regulations, specifically in relation to cross-border crypto asset transactions. In order to accomplish this, the new regulations provide for a complete overhaul of the current South African exchange control regulations so as to allow the government to severely sanction offenders of these strict new regulations. South Africa's current exchange control system dates back to a very specific political and economic movement, and its persistence is tied to structural features of this country's economy. In 1961, just as South Africa left the British Commonwealth to become an independent republic, international isolation increased the risk of capital outflow, and then the National Party government of Dr. Hendrik Verwoerd's response to this was to introduce regulations on international transactions. One of the reasons why these apartheid-era regulations have remained in place to this day, even under 30-odd years of ANC rule or so-called democracy, has been the fact that South Africa, due to a lack of economic growth under the ANC, remains perpetually vulnerable to capital outflow in cases where investors lose their faith in our economy. Moreover, South Africa has always been highly reliant upon portfolio inflow and foreign investments, and these exchange controls are specifically designed to fight money laundering and to help manage volatility when it comes to cross-border capital flight. Ultimately, these regulations had always been about limiting free market international exchanges in the name of maintaining macroeconomic stability in South Africa. But of course, these regulations were drawn up decades before Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrencies ever even existed, and the rise of the crypto market over the past decade is now being used to justify even further tightening of these regulations pertaining to foreign exchange in South Africa. The new regulations proposed now are being tabled by the Treasury and therefore attempt to transform the regulations when it comes to capital in and outflows in the following ways. Incorporate crypto assets into the exchange control framework to address associated risk and provide oversight of emerging financial instruments. Clarify the applicable exemptions, permissions, and conditions relating to exchange control restrictions, and impose administrative sanctions in cases of non-compliance with South African exchange control regulations. One of the key changes introduced by proposing this legislation is that it explicitly brings crypto assets within the scope of South Africa's foreign exchange control framework by recognizing them as a regulated currency or a regulated form of capital. This is significant because under current South African law, Bitcoin is not recognized as a legal tender and therefore does not fall within traditional definitions of what currency or even money is. The result of this is that the new framework extends exchange control oversights to your crypto assets, including requirements to declare certain holdings and cross-border transactions, even in the case where such assets have not yet been disposed of for normal fiat currencies. According to the regulations that are now being proposed, individuals and firms that are not authorized crypto asset service providers will be prohibited from transacting in crypto assets altogether above a yet to be determined threshold, unless they do so through licensed intermediaries or obtain explicit permission from the government. In other words, or to put it simple, these new rules would effectively centralize your Bitcoin or any high-value crypto assets within regulated entities that are bound to the government. So in other words, you're not allowed to hold your Bitcoin on a hard drive or what they call cold storage. It has to be in one of these government connected entities in order for you to legally have this Bitcoin. This requires anyone seeking to transact above the threshold to apply through this authorized provider and disclose detailed information about the purpose of the transaction for which they are moving the crypto around. According to Frank Leonet, the founder of South African crypto exchange Afridex, these new regulations could even allow the government to compel tax residents to convert their cryptocurrency to rand, or even go as far as to freeze or seize their crypto assets in cases of what the government determines to be non-compliance with its regulations. What this new law effectively does is pull Bitcoin and any other crypto into the same capital control machinery that was originally designed to stop money from leaving the country. The draft regulations explicitly allow law enforcement officers to search for and seize cryptocurrency as well as gold or any other currency or assets suspected of being moved in breach of their regulations. But South African legislators may soon discover that this kind of control over cryptocurrency assets might be more difficult to actually impose on the people in practice than to conceive in a legislative framework. In China, for example, where the government imposed one of the most severe and strictest crypto crackdowns in history, in 2017, banning any trading, mining, and financial services, the result was not the disappearance of cryptocurrency among the Chinese populace, but its migration underground and offshore. Studies have shown that Chinese investors continue to access Bitcoin through alternative channels even after the ban by the government. Users move to offshore exchanges via VPNs or virtual private networks, as well as peer-to-peer platforms which circumvented the crypto exchanges that the Chinese government had banned. The reality is that Bitcoin in particular is extremely difficult to regulate by a government precisely because it lacks any central authority or company to license, shut down, or compel, and because peer-to-peer transactions can move across jurisdictions or borders instantly and often anonymously, bypassing any national and jurisdictional boundaries. Still, the move by the Treasury signifies a very real and significant threat to the financial freedom of us here in South Africa, especially with the rise of cryptocurrencies in communities such as Witstrand in the Western Cape, which now boasts one of the highest Bitcoin per capita adoptions in the entire world. In fact, the Golden Route as a whole has benefited massively from the large-scale adoption of Bitcoin in places such as Plettenberg Bay, where foreign tourists no longer even have to exchange their foreign currencies for the rand because most of the shops take crypto as a form of payment. If these new regulations are accepted, however, South Africans may soon find out that the very tool they turn to for financial freedom, despite our government's tyranny, is being redefined as an instrument of even more centralized control by the ANC government. In a recent video, we highlighted exactly how the freedoms of South Africans have been systematically eroded under 32 years of ANC rule. Check out that full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And do consider supporting us by becoming a paying member of the Willem Petzer Group. We need to pay our researchers and therefore we need your investment to keep this channel going. Thanks, goodbye, and God bless.